Wait a minute. Why are you dressed up like a businessman?
Why do you think I'm dressed up as a businessman? I'm going into business. My new angel assignment is to, why I'm dressed up as a business. My new angel assignment is to save a junior executive's job, because he's going to be replaced by a machine.
Well, you don't know anything about a business. Why, you don't even know what free enterprise is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I happen to know what free enterprise is. To use an analogy, free enterprise is when a small watchmaker can compete on equal footing with a huge, giant watch manufacturer.
Well, that's right.
As long as you don't make watches.
Now, don't be ridiculous.
Go ahead. Take the side of big business.
I didn't take the side.
Take the side of big business. Little does my brother know that productive human lives are being stamped out by the hobnail boots of automation.
Oh, come on.
That's the truth. In one factory, there once was 3,000 employees. But today, there's only one employee and one machine.
One employee and one machine?
Right.
Well, what does he do?
He kicks the machine when it won't start. and next year, he's being replaced by a kicking machine.
Throughout history, men have invented machines to do their work, and this has brought progress and happiness.
Happiness? What about happiness? Did it bring happiness to our great-grandfather, Amos Smothers? Huh? Did a machine bring him happiness?
I don't know.
No, it didn't. Amos Smothers, our great-grandfather, worked for 25 years in the barn, day in, day out, working and inventing a machine, and finally he invented the automobile. He did, and when he went out, he was so excited that he went out into the world to tell everybody about the invention that he invented the automobile. And he got hit by one. Pow.
He didn't let that stop him, did he?
Not Amos Smothers. He picked him. No, he didn't. He crawled right back to the barn and invented automobile insurance.
Hey, tell me about your angel assignment. Who's this young executive who's going to get the sack?
Well, Dickie, he's an honest, forthright, he's a man among men.
Now, wait a minute. He couldn't be a man among men if he's going to get fired.
He's diligent and trustworthy.
He can't be diligent and all that. Who is he?
You. Tonight you'll meet two brothers who just happen to be us. Though Tom is slightly different, the problem we will now discuss. My brother Tom was lost at sea without his water wings, and now he is an angel, and he tries to do amazing things. That's right, brother Dick, it's no trick if you see lots of different faces that look a lot like me. An angel on a visit to his brother here below can cause a lot of trouble. There's miracles to start, but they always come apart. On the Smothers Brothers show, there's miracles to start, but they always come apart. On the Smothers Brothers show.
Brought to you by...
What are you doing?
Preparing to paint a mural. What do you think I'm doing? You guys are always the last to know.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Boy, how I hate a loser.
Come in.
Mr. Costello,
Come in, Smothers. Smothers, I want you to meet KL600. Isn't she a beauty?
Yeah. Someone's taken the furniture out of my office.
Not someone, Smothers. KL600. These cards record every bit of information about every employee at Pandora.
But someone's taking my name off the door.
Smothers, when KL600 speaks, we listen. Now, for example, this card tells us all about Miss Mary Ripton, a secretary in the advertising department. Of course, you must realize that all this information is strictly confidential.
What does it say about her?
Now, let's see. Miss Mary Ripton, age 24, height 5'2", blonde hair.
What does the machine say about me?
Smothers, there's an old saying that there are no gains without pains. Now, KL600 is going to replace a lot of our staff. As far as you're concerned, it'll do 70% of your work. It also tells me that's more than you've ever done.
But you just told me last week how creative...
My boy, you were like a son to me when you worked here.
When I worked here?
It isn't easy to tell a man that you've got to let him go. So I'll let the machine do it. Speak up, KL.
Well, I don't care what that machine says. I could do more for this company than it can.
Really? Like what?
Well, like selling the movie rights to Pandora's books.
I must admit, we haven't done very well in that particular department.
It's personal contact work. The machine can't do it. Well, you can't.
As a matter of fact, our new novel, Stranger in the Mansion by Kingsley Costigan, not one single movie offer.
Well, why don't we try to sell it to Luther Gilbert? You know, he's always making those spectacular epics without a story.
5 men have tried to sell it to Gilbert and have failed.
Well, maybe they didn't get close enough to him.
One of them was his brother.
But what if I nail down Gilbert and sell him the story?
Smothers, my boy, if you can do that, you can keep right on going with this company, right up to the very top.
But what if I don't sell him the book?
Then you can just keep on going.
Where to, buddy? The unemployment office?
Thought you were pretty smart, huh? Telling me I was fired?
Well, you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to put anything over on Tommy Smothers.
Really?
Yeah, about 6:30 or 6:45 might mess me up a little bit. I'm not too sharp then. I just can't think too clearly.
Well, it just so happens that I'm not fired. You could take me to the Gilbert Studios in hurry.
I know. You gotta go down there and sell Stranger in a Mansion to Mr. Gilbert, right?
Isn't there anything you don't know?
Yeah. I don't know how you're gonna do it. 6 men have tried to sell him before, and one of them was his father.
His father? I thought it was his brother.
No, his brother didn't even get in to see him.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Get out of here. I want to...
Just
oh,
be
brother.
quiet and drive.
Okay, I'll sit here and drive the cab, and you settle back, Dickie Smothers, and tell me all about it again.
Tell you all about what again?
The advantages of automation.
I'm Mr. Smothers from Pandora Publications. I'd like to see Mr. Gilbert.
Well, I don't think you can see him now. Mr. Gilbert's busy, revising his script.
Norma, please, listen to me. Yes?
Mr. Smothers of Pandora Publications to see you, Mr. Gilbert.
I can't see him now. Norma, darling, don't you understand? I want to do things for you. I want to make you the star of the century.
No, Luther, I want to make it on my own.
Oh. What is it?
Mr. Smothers says it's important, and it will only take a minute.
Oh. Oh, all right, send him in.
Good morning, Mr. Gilbert.
You have 50 seconds left.
I'd like to talk to you about a hot new property.
Hotter than my hottest new property, Miss Norma Sherrill.
Oh, it's a pleasure meeting you. I'm looking forward to seeing your latest picture.
Well, you don't have to look too forward. It's right there on the desk.
You know, she'd be perfect as the woman in Stranger in the Mansion.
I want to make it on my own.
Mr. Gilbert, this new book by Kingsley Costigan.
Mr. Gilbert, sorry I'm late. Here's the synopsis, the condensed synopsis of the book.
Who are you?
Bunce, Fred Bunce, of your store department.
You're new around here, aren't you?
Oh, I'm new everywhere. Mr. Gilbert, in all my years of reading as a story reader, reading stories, I've never read a story that was more pleasurable reading than this story. That's it right there, Stranger in a Mansion. And we better get it because Paramount and MGM are really hot for it.
Are those studios really interested in that book?
Desperately. But you know what I said to myself?
What?
I said only Luther J. Gilbert could produce this picture.
That's what he said. He said it. He sure said that.
You know, you're the sixth person who's tried to sell me that book.
I know. One of them was your father.
Is that who he was? He's aged.
He looks pretty bad. Read the synopsis. This handy-dandy synopsis. I'm sure you'll be very pleased.
It's a crazy business. Last month, I brought out 4,000 distributors and their wives to Hollywood. Then I sent letters to the wives asking how they enjoyed the trip. You know, I got 600 answers saying, what trip?
Mr. Gilbert, have you read the book?
I don't have to read it. Is it pre-sold? Is it a bestseller? Does it have sex, size, spectacle?
Well, it has sex and it's a real spectacle.
Well, that's in its favor. But what about size, like the movie I just made in Spain? For the battle sequences, we used 50,000 Spanish peasants, put them in uniform, gave them guns.
What happened?
They invaded Portugal. Well, Smothers, you asked for 1 minute, I've given you 10.
But Mr. Gilbert, don't you want to talk about the book?
Of course, when everybody else is talking about it. Good day. All right, Bunch, back to work. I think I'll change your name like I did hers. Norma, darling, I discovered you. I gave you your first screen test. I bought you furs, jewelry, cars. Now, there's one thing I've got to know.
Yes, Luther?
When do I get to kiss you?
Luther, please, don't spoil it.
You heard Mr. Gilbert. He only makes movies out of books that everybody's reading.
Yeah, but everybody will be reading them. I mean, they will be reading them. Hey, how long will it take you to get 12 books? That's 1 dozen books.
I know how many is in a dozen.
How long will it take you to get them here?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, at least an hour.
Too long. Too long. I'll just have to use the Angel Messenger service. Okay?
Yeah.
Here he comes.
I didn't see him flip.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do next. Flip. Boy, am I gonna flip. Up, here I go.
Are you all right?
Oh. My hand, there's no feeling in my hand.
That's my hand. You walked right in front of my car.
No, it's my fault. I was thinking about a scene from this book I'm reading. Stranger in a Mansion.
Yes, I've heard about that.
Oh! The Times called it a stunning adventure of breathtaking excitement.
Oh. See that he's taken care of.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, come on, break it up. Break it up.
Hey, the Times said it bore the unmistakable mark of greatness. And the news said it had superlative adjectives.
I make my own adjectives.
What are you trying to do, hit somebody? What's he trying to do, hit somebody?
Tommy, you get hurt?
Dickie, it's not so easy to kill an angel.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Hey, now that Mr. Gilbert knows that people are aware of the book, all we have to do is get someone on the inside to talk to him.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Hi there.
Hi. That's Mr. Gilbert's new discovery.
Adams discovered that a long, long time ago. Hey, what if you got a date with her? You could...
Oh, now, Tommy, are you crazy? I couldn't get a date with her.
Sure, you could get a date with her. You know, a great man once said, there are no gains without pain.
Yeah, Mr. Costello said.
Yeah, great man said... Hey, what would you say if I told you that Miss Norma Sherrill, the incandescent starlet, is waiting for her car and I fix it so her car isn't gonna show up.
I'd say I could take it from here.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
You think you could?
Yeah.
Would you want my help?
No, I want to make it on my own.
That was a lovely dinner, Dickie.
I'm so glad you could take time off from your busy schedule.
Well, yes, my career does keep me hopping.
You know, I bet that Mr. Gilbert must be a wonderful man.
Oh, yes, he has a heart of gold. I mean, you wouldn't believe how he went out of his way to help Dan Barclay, one of his writers. I mean, who else would go out of his way to help a friend when he's out of work? Buy them dinner, offer his guest house.
He did all that for Barclay?
No, for Barclay's sister.
You know, I feel we have so much to talk about.
Oh, yes, Dickie, so do I.
I'll bet you're like 1,000 other starlets in that you won a small-town beauty contest and then came all the way out here to Hollywood to break into the movies.
That's right.
Where'd you come from?
Los Angeles. But I guess you didn't bring me here to talk about my career.
No, I didn't.
Speak the words I'm longing to hear.
Norma, I'd like to tell you about a great new book, Stranger in the Mansion. It's by Kingsley Costigan. It is a fantastic book. Have you read the reviews? It said it...
You mean you brought me up to your apartment to listen to book reviews? What kind of a girl do you think I am?
Norma! Now, wait a minute, Norma!
Boy, you sure don't know much about women.
Were you there all the time?
No, I was sitting over there. You sure don't know much about women, though. You know, sometimes women like to smooch first and then talk later. Other times there's girls that...
I know. I really messed that one up.
Well, I don't want to be, sour grapes and stuff, but you sure did. Don't blame yourself, though, Dickie. You know something? Women are a real puzzle inside of an enigma. A puzzle inside of an enigma women are. Hey, you know what we should do?
What?
We've got to keep that book under Gilbert's nose until he cracks.
No, I doubt if I'll even be able to see him again.
Hey, what about that press conference he's holding tomorrow for Norma?
What press conference?
Press conference where she's going to talk about that book.
Is she?
Well, just be there, Dickie. I think you'll be surprised.
Gentlemen, I've called you here to announce that I've finally cast the starring role in Venus, Venus, Venus. All 3 parts will be played by my newest discovery, Miss Norma Sherrill.
Hi.
All right, boys, let's give the reporters a chance, huh?
Is this your first film, Miss Sherrill?
Oh, no. I've appeared in 3 films already.
What is your biggest wish?
Well, I wish they'd release one of them.
Have you done any work abroad?
Oh, yes. I was in a Chinese picture with King Kong.
What did you think of King Kong?
Well, he was a really wonderful ape, and it was a lot of fun working with him.
Wasn't that picture made in Hong Kong?
That's right.
Well, what did you think of Hong Kong?
Well, he was a really wonderful ape, and it was a lot of fun working with him.
What was the picture about?
Oh, it was very exciting. It ended with King Kong lifting me up in his arms on top of the Empire State Building.
He made that same scene with Fay Ray.
I thought he acted like he'd been there before. Yes?
Is it true that your next picture for Gilbert Productions will be Stranger in a Mansion?
No, it is not true.
Who will be doing the screenplay for Stranger in the Mansion?
Gentlemen, please. There is no such picture on our production schedule.
Oh, come on now, Mr. Gilbert. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, that's right. Why are you trying to cover up this deal?
Is it because the other studios want it?
I tell you, there is no such deal.
He's a cagey one, isn't he?
Why don't you release some information on your production of Stranger in the Mansion?
Now, wait a minute.
Well, at least Mr. Gilbert knows people are reading the book.
Yeah, he knows that the press is interested in it, too.
If I could only figure out a way to get in his office again and give him that old hard sell.
Hey, how are you giving hard sells outside of offices?
Why?
Here comes Mr. Gilbert right now.
Now, Bruce, remember, you're Hercules, the strongest man in the world, so look strong. This is the knocking over the pillar scene. And Bruce, for this scene, do you mind taking off your glasses? Please don't break them. Yeah, be careful of his glasses. Now, when you hear the cheers of the Roman slaves after you freed them, that's when you knock over the pillars.
Why am I doing this? Why am I a Greek freeing Roman slaves? What is my motivation?
So I can finish the picture before my money runs out.
Nobody else could play the stranger in the mansion.
Yeah, look at those muscles. Perfect for the part. Strong in the right places and tender in the right places and a little bit of flab there to show that you're human.
If I were you, I would tear up my contract if they didn't buy me the book.
Yeah, if they didn't buy that book, tear up their contract. Little tiny, teeny-weeny pieces, maybe even smaller than that, and throw it to the wind.
All right. I'll have my agent read the book. That is, if I can find him, and he can read.
Look, Smothers, I admire your persistence, but I'm ordering you and your friend out of my studio.
Mr. Gilbert, why don't you just read the book?
I read the book last night. You're wasting my time. Stranger in the Mansion can't be produced.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not? Because it's improbable. That's why not. Who would believe such a story?
I'd believe it.
A former Northwest mounted policeman living in a man's house for 10 years without his knowledge and supporting himself by coaching a professional football team?
Happens every day.
Out.
Happens every day.
Get out of my studio.
Well, happens
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm living here. I lived here for 10 years. I'm staying here. I've been living here without your knowledge for over 10 years. It's absolutely amazing, but I didn't know you'd be coming in here unexpected like this. I was very surprised.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. Who are you?
I'm your house guest. I'm your house... Actually, I am Sergeant Anthony Peters of the Royal Canouted Mated Police. No, the Royal Canadian Mounted.
Are you really a Canadian Northwest Mountie?
No, actually, I'm a brain surgeon. I do this as a hobby. Like a martini?
Don't you move. You stay right where you are. I'm going to call the police.
Well, I can't stay here. I gotta rush. I gotta go to practice.
Practice? What kind of practice? Hello? Pandora Publications? I want to buy the movie rights to one of your books.
Hey, I'm sure glad you got your desk back. Hey, but isn't your office kind of crowded with all those computer cards laying around all over the office?
Not now. Mr. Costello got rid of the machine yesterday.
Oh, why in the world would he do that?
Well, the computer company ran an aptitude test for all the executives.
Yeah?
And it showed that Mr. Costello was best suited for the mimeograph room.
You're kidding.
No.
He must have loved that.
Well, he did for a while, but he couldn't get the hang of the mimeograph machine.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, that's wild.
Mr. Gilbert will see you now.
Thank you.
Come in, boys. Come in.
I'd like to thank you for buying Stranger in the Mansion, Mr. Gilbert.
Well, don't thank me. Thank Bunce of my story department for giving such a convincing performance as a Mountie football coach.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun working with you.
Boys, Norma and I have some very exciting news. We want to share it with you.
Let me tell him, Luther. Mr. Gilbert has decided to sign me to a long-term exclusive contract as his wife. Isn't he a doll?
Norma, please, don't spoil it.